Hello, 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 hello. I'm fighting Grub. She's really determined to eat my Kraken. My Kraken's already all blobby. I need to figure out how to do the poke thing, where it's like felting. The like felted plushes, because she got at it and now it's kind of like a little blobby and I want to fix it. I think I could probably fix it. Anyway. Am I winning? No, I'm losing. I am losing the fight against this cat. Needle felting, yeah. Felting, I think. Yes. Because I have this adorable needle felted Kraken pet from OSRS that my sister got me, but now it's a little blobby because she chewed on it. Because she's evil. Anyway. Hello, everyone. Evil fucking creature. Evil creature. You! Hi. Also, I'm switching keyboards just because I need more space on my desk. The Ergo keyboard that I use is really, really huge, and also the pain that I'm getting in my hands isn't really corresponding to the keyboard anymore. It's exclusively mouse and stuff, so I think I'm fine without it. And also I like this keyboard. I built it myself. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Did you guys hear the giant clank? If not, hold on, I'm gonna turn on the giant clank. Let me go into the mic settings. What was that clang? Okay, cool. That was my keyboard. I lifted my keyboard a little. Here, I'm gonna give you guys some keyboard ASMR. Let me go into my mic settings. Actually, I'll just go into this one. Okay, hold on, I'm switching over. Okay. This is my keyboard. It also has really nice sounds. I'm just typing home noises now at this point. It's all metal. Hold on, let me switch over my... Anyway, hello. It's this nice machined metal keyboard that I really, really like. It sounds really good to type on. I could do ASMR at some point. But yeah, I really like this keyboard. It's way more fun to type on. It feels better to type on, even if it's less ergonomic. Because I mean, it's Meteor Oranges, which are my favorite in Fear. Well, that just makes me want to do it more. There are Meteor Oranges, which are my favorite Switch. They're tactile, but like with a little bit more than like a MX Brown. But they don't feel scratchy. So they're really nice. There's like it uses a silicon grommet. Or not silicon, it uses oh god, it's filthy inside because it's just been on the floor. Last time I did an ASMR surgery, I botched. Yeah, well, she works now. Don't ask if it's the same PlayStation. I don't know the answer to that question. Don't ask, because I actually don't know. Yeah, I probably won't do... No, Godot just made, like, some sort of pride post or something. It was some completely benign thing, and then Grums got all angry, as Grums does. Because Grums has nothing better to do, because Grums... Anyway, not gonna talk about that. No. My cat is Grubs. Grums is the alt-right grifter who did a big Kickstarter and then basically stole the money and did nothing with it, and has just been releasing Unreal Engine demos as his proof of concept. He's the one who gets all mad at DEI and gaming and blah 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 blah. If there's some squeaking, I'm sorry. My mic started coming undone. Anyway, I need to set up my pedals so I can like mute and stuff and like do... I don't know where my pedals are. They're somewhere in here. You would not know I took the Adderall today, I think. I took it yesterday too, and it gave me panic attacks because I hadn't taken it in like 2 weeks because I've had COVID. And it was suppressing my appetite enough that between that and the Adderall, I was just not eating and my weight was plummeting. And I realized I want to lose weight, but I don't want to lose weight like that. So, and then I got it back to normal, thankfully. Anyway. Hello. Why do I get... My immune system's just fucked. Even without the agoraphobia, I imagine, I would still probably be a little bit... I don't know. I keep seeing YouTubers advertise that, like, AG1 thing. How much the, like... It's like a nutrition for, it's just, like, kelp supplements. Oh boy, kelp. Oh god, it's so expensive. Yeah, not that. I see why they use YouTubers to advertise. Anyway. I mean, I would absolutely shill for them if they came for me. Just right now, not something I can afford. Yeah, I don't know. I probably need to take a bunch of supplements, and my immune system in general is just kind of shot. Always has been. And my gut biome is completely shot because I took antibiotics for 2 years. Don't take antibiotics for 2 years. It just destroys your internal biome, which affects everything about your health. The only thing that I found that fixed it was so most if you go to a store and you get like a probiotic, they're usually 1 to 3 billion CFUs, which is like culture forming units. I think this one was like 30 or 60 billion. And it was the only thing I found that helped. Didn't fix it, but it did help. It actually helped like pretty dramatically, actually, I think. I should probably do another course. It turns out all that bullshit about probiotics being like super good for you is actually correct. Which, I don't know. Considering that it's just the marketing is pretty snake oily, I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, so finally, basically I've been sick in bed for 3 weeks, so I've had a lot of time to think about things. Also, let me know if BGM's too loud. I don't have it in my ears. I am listening to, like, Miku. I can also turn off BGM and just let people listen to whatever they want, if they prefer that. Up to you guys. I can do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll. BGM. No BGM. I need to get used to this keyboard again. Game Boy Micro or no Game Boy Pocket. Close enough. Don't worry about it. And neither of those say BGM. Actually, Game Boy Micro is the Oxy, I think. Anyway, I'm trying to grab another capture of this. Will this work? Yeah, okay, now you guys can see the little game whenever I pop it open. And then if I kill it? Yeah, okay. And then if I load it again? Hold on. I need to change the properties to capture specific window, and window title must match. There we go. Well, Halo, I went from this curved echo. Look up a kinesis advantage, too. And then I went from that back to a, yeah, I remember this, right? There's also, like, lots of little noises, but I'm not playing the noises right now. Yeah, and we figured we would probably, yeah, it's really comfortable to type on. But it doesn't work great for a lot of things. So it's genuinely a great keyboard. I want a more desk space. It's big, and it sucks for gaming, and for like certain just applications and stuff. But anyway, so now I'm using the custom one I built myself, which is. But yeah, that's why jumping from that back to my current keyboard is a little weird on muscle memory. But that's fine, I'm using this to get back to use for it. I'm gonna take a picture of my current keyboard, actually. Don't mind any, like, dirt or whatever, because it has literally been sitting on my floor. On the floor in the basement. Bum bum bum. Yeah, so I'm rested, I'm feeling well, I'm medicated again, I'm happy. But yes, I've been thinking about, basically because I've been sick for 3 weeks, going crazy in bed. I've been kind of thinking about what I want to do for streaming. The original when I wanted to first when I first wanted to stream, I wanted to do Game Boy games. I never ended up doing Game Boy games. I just kind of ended up playing whatever. But I'm realizing, like, what am I interested in? And if, like, I really want to focus on things, I kind of probably want to do more technical things. More programming streams. More weird retro games, I think. Like, actual weird stuff. More focus on original hardware. And, like, a lot more hand cams. I want to do... Also just, like, basically I want to be a hobbyist tinkerer channel with, like, some retro and some RuneScape. Which is... And, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is... Yeah, I mean, it's still hobbyist. That's literally hobbyist. I think that's kind of what I probably want to go for. So I'm definitely wanting to start building Lego on hand cams and maybe model kits and, you know, more 3D printing stuff. I haven't been able to do any printing in a while because I've been sick. Oh my god, it's so dark. This photo is so dark. Almost like I don't have any light on besides a single LED panel. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. But I definitely want to kind of more structure, you know, like the shmups and stuff are really cool, but I think a part of the cool part of that is my fuck-ass arcade stick, so I should do them with a hand cam. Just a lot of stuff like that, I think, that are just... And I want to do a lot more programming. My brain got damaged from COVID, and now I'm interested in programming again. That's not what I mean to be doing. I'm also just like, my brain's everywhere right now. I mean, I've been going crazy from the... Yeah, maybe my brain just got reset. I've been craving bitter things, and I have been wanting to do programming. So, oh, that's way too big. Why does this always happen? Whoop. Whoop. Here's my keyboard. The keyboard that's not the freakish one. I like this keyboard. It's cute. The whites don't actually match, which kind of bugs me. It's a warm white for the keys, and then it's a cool white for the case. So maybe I want to go in and paint it. And I also lost all the screws. Nope, just standard keys, no LED. I don't like LED. Never liked LED. Explicitly was looking for a keyboard without LED. But yeah, so it's a comfy keyboard. Yeah, I lost the... Well, they're M2 screws. Of course I lost them. Like, they're M2. They're so tiny. Like... Not only have I lost my M2 screws, I lost the package of M2 screws. I lost the entire box. So I just, whatever. I don't use M2s on projects, which is part of why I lost them. I cannot find them anywhere. I don't even know if I still have them. I think it was from like a project 3 or 4 years ago. M2s are just too tiny for what I do. M3, M4 are fine. But M2 is just, it's too tiny. Anyway, right, we also are going to get more 3D printing shenanigans in the future. I really want to get my Game Boy printer working on USB. I need to move back I have that there. I need to change a bunch of stuff about my setup. I also just need to get this basement put in order. I need shelves. Like garage wire rack shelves. I just, yeah, I'm living in a, it looks like a hoarder lives here. But it's boxes from the moves that I haven't unpacked because I don't really have places to unpack them into. I have one unassembled tiny bookshelf that is dedicated to like 3 boxes of Vtuber merch. So it's not like I have places to put. And that's because a hoarder lives there. Shut up. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, this is the game we were working on a while back. I think I was in the middle of refactoring all of it. I want to... God, nothing is commented. Alright, because it was kind of like a jam project. It's a jam project that got so bad I had to rewrite it in the middle of it just to make it more some level stuff. I want to see, is action press jump? Yeah. Well, anyway. Let's see. What is that? How do you shift? How do you uncomment something? Oh, I should kill the game. Anyway, how do you uncomment? Toggle comment Control K. It's Control K in this, I think. Yeah, and then I rewrote. Here we go. Function set state. This is right. And we didn't add any of the hammer mechanics yet. I need to re-enable the collision between the player and the mochi. But we have the important things like little dust trails. Extremely important. And like a motion trail when you jump. And the little splat when they land. I'm probably gonna scrap everything from the level. I mean, this was really for, and then there is the, yeah, when you fall from too high a height like this. It should have been like that. Hold on. Oh. You kind of splat into the ground and then you crawl. Which I find fun. It feels good to just run around and hop around. So it doesn't always happen, it's based on height. Yeah, no, using that for a mechanic is fine enough. And this was just a way for me to try out different things. Don't like how the ladders feel. I mean, also, we don't really have an animation for the ladders, which probably affects the feel a lot. There we go. Is this a joke? The thumbnail is literally Comic Sans? All of my thumbnails are Comic Sans. Every thumbnail on this, basically every thumbnail on this channel has been Comic Sans, so. And my chat is also Comic Sans. I just like Comic Sans. I think it's a fun, but is this a joke? Probably. I'm trans and I have blue hair and I'm using the woke game engine, so yeah. Yeah, maybe even has pronouns. I don't know if joke is the right term. Is this a serious stream? Not really. I mean, it's me doing programming. It's me doing game programming for a game about bunny girls ascending a space elevator to the moon, so inherently not super. I like how the camera feels. I want to see if I can get the Godot audio routing correctly. Let me see. Let's set that up to open volume mixer. We want cable output. Okay. Yeah, they do live on the moon. I want that to be set to cable input. Yeah, she's got to get back to her girlfriend on the moon. There we go. Can you guys hear that? Yeah. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit, I think. But yeah, all right. It is time to get all the ladder mechanics done. Also, Holly, you mentioned you wanted to make it like lower res. If you want to, that's fine. I think this resolution is really cute. It's not very high res. It's still kind of lowish res. But if you do want to make it like lower res, that's also completely fine. I love the mochis. Alright. Well, let's see. So, I think the big thing right now is to re-enable all the hammer mechanics. Might be... I mean, the art's cute. Like... Also, Pixar art is hard, but, like, the art is cute. I'm not... Like... I'm very... I have no complaints about the art. I'm very happy. If everything was how it is right now... The level of detail currently on the bunny girl, I think that would be perfectly fine for a game like this. Will the game be open source or something? Probably not. I mean, so the goal is we have someone doing background art and music, which will be fun and add a lot to it. Holly's doing just the regular character art and stuff, and the terrain art, and then I'm doing the programming. Like, maybe it'll probably be like a couple $1 game on itch and Steam, maybe when it's finished. Would be fun. I mean, it's really gonna depend on how much time do we put into it, because this was just kind of a jam project to just make a little silly project in Godot, and then just like a bare minimum feature thing, and then I went insane and wanted everything to be a proper state machine. Which, to be fair, looking at the old code, I can see why we did that. Look, waiting for the Yuri Not Safe for Nodule visual novel spin-off. I mean... Holly and Sari might actually... Yeah, I mean, I think we just, like, spent a week just... And not like super heavy. It was tinkering on a little fun project just to make something that felt fun to move around in, like bare minimum proof of concept, and proof of concept was fun. And then it's been literally a year. I think most of it was on Twitch too. Back when I did that. Anyway, let's get to the actual programming stuff. I should get my brace. It was 1 week of me learning Godot. It was less of a week of making a game and more of a week of me learning. Is it upstairs? It's upstairs. It was upstairs. I have it. I have my wrist brace. There you go. Also, this keyboard, ironically, despite being less ergonomic, is probably going to work better just for my current situation with the brace. And there's less height adjustment, which is nice. It's been 6... Oh yeah, I did this for, like, a birthday. Where is ex-husband? Ex-husband is mostly a Twitch user. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I should do that. We're both really bad about communicating with people. So many friends I've just lost contact with just because I'm bad about following up with people. Yeah, I refactored the code in October. Oh god. Yeah, we haven't touched this in forever. There's no reason why. Well, yeah, he's not physically here. He was gonna visit, but I was super sick at one point. Small Dog's partner is gonna be living here soon. He's a little less moe though, I think. He's... Yeah, he's not really... I wouldn't really make him meow. Not really the type. I like him. Just don't get me wrong, I like Disaster a lot. He's very, very nice. He's just more like loud and passionate. Whereas ex-husband is just like very quiet. All right, func process state. So let's we can turn back on the hammer sprites, I think. That's fine. Let's see, does this break anything yet? Okay, nothing broke. Let's turn on the, where's the physics process? Here's the input processing. No, let's disable the dash mechanic. Yeah, I think like some sort of spinning animation would be really fun for the double jump. Like ladder climbing is important. Some sort of double jump mechanic would be important. I forget how the dash works. And I was thinking of maybe doing like some sort of spin with the hammer might be fun. For like the dash. Like it being like a somersault, a hammer somersault. Alright, scene. I have not touched this in a year. This is me staring at code that I do not remember. Left, right, action A. Okay, so it should just be... If action is pressed, I'm going to put... What is it? Print? I think. Print hammer. Let's just make sure that's getting called correctly. It's not getting called. Not sure. Is that how you print in Godot? Yeah, it should be how you print. Because we have the bye-bye code 2. Or when stuff gets too far away. Right? Where is the... Yeah, and it prints the bye-bye, but never prints hammer. Alright. Well... That's a good start. If action is pressed, jump. Did we only allow hammering while jumping? Godot is hard, but even harder is code that you did over a year ago and haven't looked at since. Okay, that works for the hammer. So let's see if hammer time is less or equal to 0, hammer equals true. And that's all the hammer time code, which we got rid of. We want to change state. So this is hammer ground. State hammer ground. A week, 13 months. Okay, got it. On hammer body entered. Hammering equals true, hammering equals false. Let's grab all the reference code that's relevant to the hammer stuff, and then we're going to we can make a hammer state, I think. Whoops. Oh god, this keyboard's so weird to get used to. So weird getting used to a normal keyboard. Oh god. Wait. What? Huh? Who switched the L key and the colon key? What? Hold on. That's not how... Oh, what does a QWERTY keyboard look like? Okay. You guys can see how... Alright. Let's see. I need to get my muscle memory fixed. Using new keyboard in entirely different layout. Please be gentle. Frowny face. Okay, so for this, if hammer, so for that we do state jump, state fall. So that sets the state, and then we match this state. So we do state dot hammer yeah, this is the Moon Bunny game. So hammer ground. Hammer state. I'll pass false there. Okay, so hammer state is going to have a... We'll put this in error. So if error. Okay, so this is ground state. Else. Okay, and then that's air state. That's fine. So then if we are not in the air, what do we want to do? Let's look at, I'm gonna get all of the hammer stuff. So it was... Okay, so basically we did this. And then we had... Input direction, handle the movement, deceleration. Okay. I want to say we already handled the sprite stuff in the direction. Yeah. Okay, we already handled all of that. So... no, none of this is useful. If splatted... there's the hammer, the can hammer jump stuff. So we want to make sure we don't do a state change from splatted to hammer. That's fine. Funk hammer jump. Funk dash. If hammering can try hammer jump. Checks if we are on a solid surface or in coyote time and if a jump is buffered. Right, so we want to... we're gonna want to steal from the jump code. Rice. I'm sorry to tell you. We do have a hammer time variable and a maximum hammer time variable and a hammer sprite time. That has been in there since the beginning. Let's see. Okay, that just plays the hammering. That's right, because we only run the hammer routine. Okay, so for someone who was not watching Twitch streams 2 Julys ago, God, basically the mechanic was if you hit something with your hammer, you will like bounce back because it's a giant, oversized one of those rubber bouncy mallets. So we want to make sure that so we want to look at the jump. Next month will be your two. Don't say that. Don't say that. So we have a try jump function. So we probably want to copy this for a try hammer. Try hammer. So if jump buffered. Cold. Trying to remember what you were thinking. A year ago, when you rewrote all this, well, I mean, I can see why I rewrote it all. This is garbage, but and this is nice. This is an actual state machine. Ish. Yeah, it's a state machine. It's close enough. Let's see. So all right, let's focus on hammering on the ground first. I think that's the most. So let's see. How did we do? What was our try hammer function? If hammering and can hammer jump. Can hammer jump. This is why we switched to ifs. I'm remembering why we switched to the state machine. It's because this was all bullshit. It was so many timers and like like tries and different flags, and it was just awful. Oh god. I'm remembering why we were having so many problems. Okay. So for hammer state, so we have something called a I'm sorry about this stream. This is like me. You can feel the pain return. Yeah. I've not consumed enough sugar today. It's okay. All right, let's see. Let's just... Let's do the hammer jump function. I think it was... play... We want the hammer jump. And we want to play the sound. So let's do... Okay. Let's just try this. Let's see. Else pass. Oh. Oh god. It froze. So what we want to do is hammer state print hammer here. I just want to make sure it is... no, we want to print error. That's why it's not passing correctly. Huh. Okay. Hold on, I need to send a quick email. I just realized. Meant to set a timer. And... let me, please tell me this is the right document. This is the right document, yeah. Open with Google Docs. Why is it loading weird in there, but loading fine out of the preview? Whatever. Okay. I'm just not gonna stress. I'm not gonna stress. Gonna stress. Alright, we want to do hammer state. State hammer ground hammer state. So set state if if hammer time. Okay, and then we want to do set state state dot hammer ground. All right, let's see how this works. And then if the state is set to hammer ground, process state. And then print if. Why is this not... Huh? Why is that not processing? That's baffling, because I know that's running. Am I misremembering how I set up the state machine? Okay, enum state hammer ground. That's fine. If action is pressed. Action A. We don't set the states in the input thing, we do jump. What? How? Huh? Oh, that's because we have a try jump where it processes the hammer stuff. Okay. So we want hammer time. Sure. And we want to start hammer time at var hammer time. Yes, we want it to be set to -1. So then it should work. And then we should print hammer debug. It's gonna take a while for me to get used to this. So it doesn't let me spam it. We are decrementing hammer time? Somewhere in here? Yes, we are. We are decrementing it right there. Okay, cool. So we do have that part written correctly. Where do I do the... How do I... Hammer? Where are you? If hammer. Okay, that's all fine. If hammer. Hammer object visible. Okay. So we're gonna move this all into the hammer state later, but I just want to make sure it's... Okay. Well, it needs to despawn, but it's at least kind of working with that. Okay. So if hammer time is greater than that, hammer equals true. So we have that. Okay. But then how do we want to process the state transition? Can you tell I haven't programmed in like a year? No, that's not true. I'm like 6 months. Oh god. If hammer time is less than era, hammer equals false. Okay, we do want to add that in there to turn off the hammer. In the if hammer. And then we want something like that. So if hammer time greater than or equals 0, hammer equals false. Okay. Less than or equals. That is what I meant. That is in fact what I did. That is what I meant, even if it isn't what I said. Okay, so what this will do is turn on the hammer sprite thing. We should almost do a timer function in the physics process just to have it all somewhere nice. We'll do timer lot. Yeah, we'll func timer logic delta. And then we can move the jump buffer, the hammer stuff, the stun time, and the jump timer. That seems, and then we run timer logic delta. Okay. And then if we put this here, we'll do this hammer timers. We'll call these coyote time, hammer timers, and these are action timers. Cool. Nothing broke. So then what we want, if hammer sprite time is greater than 0, we want to add the hammer visibility part. What was it? Hammer. Oh. Does hammer have any scripts attached to it? No, it doesn't. So we want the hammering true, hammering false. No, that's not. Right, because we had all like the hammering state. We were basically doing a state machine, but it was all really bad. So what we want is the hammer object visible in the timers. So then we'll probably do that in the try hammer function, because we have the try jump function, and then we'll have a try hammer. If hammer sprite equals that, we want to make the hammer invisible. Okay, yes. So then we'll do try hammer. Okay. So what we can do is, I'm gonna look up the try hammer stuff in the thing, but it's gonna be if hammer equals true, we'll make the object visible. Oops, I did an assignment instead of a herder. Okay. There we go. Cool. And then it despawns in the normal time that it would be. Awesome. Now let's look at the actual old try hammer function, because I had a bunch of logic there that was good, I think. It was try hammer jump. If hammering and can hammer jump. What? What was this code? Oh god. Funk hammer jump. Stun equal true. Okay, I think it's... This is the... yeah. So we have this, and then we do collision checks. And you seem quite critical. Well, yeah. It's because it was this stupid-ass jam programming, so none of it makes any damn sense. If hammer state... Okay, so I did do a hammer air. I think there's a... is it hammer dash? Yeah. So hammer ground is doing it from a ground position, hammer air must be doing it from an air position. Because we do the hammer animation and then we switch to playing the jump in. Okay, this makes sense, this makes sense. Let's look at our animation player. Animation... hit. Oh, this is... I didn't have the hammering animations added, and that's why. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know, do we have hammering animations? I do not remember for the life of me. Okay, so for hammer... if hammer true... Right, so hammering, the try hammer What was I thinking a year or two ago? What? Okay. Alright. Oh, those are all probably gonna have different animations. That's why. Hammer ground, hammer that, and then I should add a hammer jump state. Which basically is just a funny... state... hammer jump. We switch to this after... Right, so we run the hammer, we switch to the correct hammer, hammer state, and then if we make contact with an object, we switch to the hammer jump state. That makes sense. And the hammer jump state is going to have this state. So what we do is we right. Okay, so in this function we have the code, the stuff that we do when we transition to that state. And then in this function, we process the state. Wait. No. Yes. Okay. What was I thinking? The process state. This is where we can process additional stuff, like the play the idle. Yes. This is all... Right, because we have... Okay, I'm starting to understand what the fuck I was thinking. Okay. Ugh, I should have commented this better. I'm usually good about commenting code too. Well, whatever. Else velocity y. So we want to, if that, then we want why do I triangle true? All right, sure. We're gonna put this all in here and we're gonna see what happens. Do I need to add a new state? Yeah, hammer jump. Okay, has anything broken? Alright, so we'll just put in the try hammer. And then let's add set state dot hammer jump. All right. There we go. I can no longer walk. All right, so we broke a bunch, but that part works. Okay, we only want it to happen when we're like, when the hammer collides with something, but we have that code written somewhere. Cool. And then we can play an animation there. Okay, cool. Well, let's make the hammer jump stuff less bad. No, we don't want to change to... We don't want to change to jump, I don't think. The stun is enabled. Stun is keeping us from moving. State, basically, if we hit ground, we want stun equals false. I think that should work. Yeah, because if you hit something with the hammer, we want it to... you don't get an action after it, basically. But once you actually land, you can recover. Okay, cool. That works. Cool. Now we just need to make it when we come in contact with objects. Tired. I forgot how fun this was. I also like the little the dust every time you hit something. I just shouldn't you be stunned when you splat? No, a stun basically means you can't move. And when you do splat, you can crawl. So I think that works out fine. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but it's fine. Okay, that's fine to have, I think. So then... So if hammer equals true, the object, and then we check the collision. And if the collision is true, we do that. Yes. Hammer state. Yeah, well, whatever. We might need this later. It's a good sound effect. I like it. Let's try this. There we go. Now it's the hammer. The hammer sound instead of the regular sound. Okay, now let's add back the collision stuff to it. And then make sure we can't spam it, because right now we are spamming it. Which we shouldn't be able to do. But I think we have everything set up for that. I just need to tweak some stuff, which is fine. Okay, so here's all the hammer time stuff. Okay, we have something for getting hit by enemies. On hammer body entered. Hammering equals true. Hammering equals false. Okay. Yeah. I do not like the hammering. Variable that we have. I think that's such a, we're gonna call that. So that's just if we turn on the hammer, these were the hammer times. Why are we checking? No, why do we need a hammering variable? We can just change state to the hammer jump. Right. Funk. Okay, so we're going to move the sound effects to the hammer jump. Oh no, we already played. It's fine. Okay, cool. So that's all perfect. So then we can if hammer is true, and then try hammer enables the collision, and then if we all we need to do is set the state here, I think. And that should work. So we have the, where is the hammer collision stuff? And the if hammer okay, we want to grab this code, and that is if not is on floor. so we try hammering with the jumping. And that only works if the hammering is true. Oh. That's a dumb... We want to properly incorporate this into the state machine, I think. It's not right now, but if I can get it working, I don't care that much. So if hammer if hammer, we're going to tab that, put that in there, and no. Right, and we want our current state to be, and current state does not equal state dot splat. I think this is how this is meant to be. If hammer is true, otherwise set hammer to false. All right, let's just see if this works without breaking something. Okay. Now let's go splat. That maybe? There we go. Okay. You don't want to get involved with whatever Godot's doing? All Godot did was say trans rights or something. I'm just making fun of a bunch of clickbait thumbnails that call out VTubers and how a bunch of people shoot through a shit fit about them saying trans rights. But yeah, multiplayer is it's hell. Networking is just inherently hell. It's so annoying. I guess this is fine for now. If I work it into the state machine, this will solve actually all the issues, so I'm fine. So what we need to do is if hammer is true and current state thank you, Holland Lophouse did the art. Holly Mama. Okay. All right, this is Okay, this doesn't quite work completely how I mean for it to, but it's starting to. It's starting to. A lump mound. Okay. Alright, there's a lot of glitches here, but all the logic is in here, and if I work it into the state machine, I should be able to fix the issues. The try hammer function is bad, but that's why we're just gonna put it in the state machine. It makes sense for the jump, because you're testing a bunch of stuff about coyote time. And all the hammer function should do is when we activate it, it should play the animation I imagine. Because there will be hammer swinging animations. There might already be hammer swinging animations. I just didn't implement them yet. There probably already are. That sounds right. There is a hammering sprite. Okay, I might plug that in a bit then. Ow. I do not love this demo level. Everything about the ladders, I mean, it'll work a little better when we have it, but ladders just suck in games. Okay, well, the hammer bouncing off of terrain is fun. You didn't just try, you did a good job, Holly. You hush. The actual enemy function. I need to fix that, but it is fun. With like the slide, like it doesn't work great. But that's lower priority over character movement. All right, I need to get something sweet. I'm gonna go get some apple cider. I will be right back. Or maybe some green tea? No, that's not sweet. Okay. Wait, I forgot. I had a cup down here I can just use. Up. Okay, I have sugar. Oh yeah, I'm back. Yeah, Thanksgiving, I think this year is going to be me staying home and doing that. Families gathering in Texas, and I didn't want to do that. And I don't want to impose on Small Dog's Thanksgiving. Even though I'm usually invited every year to her family's Thanksgiving, but I don't want to impose, especially because If our partner does move in by then, this will be first, you know, Thanksgiving, where he's like living down here. Although I'm not sure if he will by then. I don't know. He's definitely trying to move in. So I need to do a bunch of cleaning. Yep, her basement dwelling neat, pretty much. I need to get this basement organized. My mom was actually gonna come help with that. But basically, I think the plan right now is to get a bunch of those like metal wire racks that you put in garages and a bunch of bins from like a hardware store, and then just put everything in those. And like label them, so then I actually have everything somewhere, and then get a and then within the bins do like baggies and like smaller bins and stuff, and then get some sort of tool chest, I think, for like all my various tools. So I should talk to my dad too about getting into the storage unit. Yeah, yeah, basically, so right now I'm living among the junk is the problem. I have my bed directly on the carpet in a corner of the basement. Like, I wasn't always living in the basement, but during the summer it was good for me to move down here, and during the winter it's good for me to be down here too, because it's a little bit warmer down here. It's slightly warmer in the winters and slightly cooler in the summers, which is perfect because our heating's broken. We need to get that fixed. But that's on Small Dog, because this is her house. But she's gonna get in contact with her dad and figure that out. But yeah, our boiler just will not start. I don't know why. Why is FreeCAD booting? I don't want to run FreeCAD. FreeCAD, please stop. No, yeah, it's not starting, but it shouldn't be bad, so we probably just need somebody to like come in and just do maintenance on it. Whatever. Yeah, I'm usually not on the PC, to be fair. Okay, so hammer ground, hammer air. So in hammer ground, we can we'll only transition to hammer ground if we're from ground state and not in splat state. So we don't need the splat check. I think that's fair. So all we're going to do here is... So what do we want to do for hammer ground? We want to enable the collision checks. And we want to enable the hammer object visible. And we'll do the try hammer, which will basically be if we are on ground and the hammer function is true, then we can do the... Okay, yeah. That makes sense. No, actually, we don't need to make a separate function. We can just do this when we process the ground function. That would make a lot more sense, probably. So hammer ground, and then we want to grab hammer time and hammer sprite time. Yes, and then we have a cooldown right there. Yes, that makes sense, I think. Okay, so if we move to hammer ground, we want to do that. But what we want to do is... in ground state... yeah, this is fine here. Let's see. Hi, Grubbo, welcome back. So we don't need the try hammer function. We will instead... No, I think actually the try hammer function is good. So we're going to... we set hammer to true. Function try hammer. If current state equals state dot ground, then we want to do set state state dot, what is it? Hammer ground. Yes. So then this should... if hammer. There we go. We want to add a little debug statement here. Print. Can you hear me? No. Did I get rid of try hammer? No, it's there. It's right near a try jump. That's weird. All right, no, we want to set hammer to false on every... hammer equals false. So hammer should always be false. We can set it to true there. That's fine. And then we want to copy that. We want to do the hammer time track in the actual try hammer function. Okay, that makes sense. Now the try hammer function actually makes sense for something. If hammer time is greater than 0, if hammer if current state equals state, or current state equals state.idle, or current state equals state dot walk. All of those are valid. Cool. But why? Can you hear me? Print hello. Okay, this should, if I'm correct, this should start spamming. Okay, cool, it is spamming. That's fine. We want print hammer time. Okay, so that's fine. We are just not having hammer. Oh, wait. We could... Hi, Grub. Are you on my lap because it's warm? We could put the try hammer in the input function. That makes way more sense. Try hammer. It's pretty chilly because again our heat's not working. I mean, it's only like 63 inside, so it's not that bad. But it's definitely a little cold. Okay, oh. Okay, the hammer is always on. Let's get rid of the hammer false thing. Okay, so it's the hammer thing that's causing the issues, but this is already starting to make more... No, my computer cools pretty well, is the thing. It's to the point that it's only like marginally hotter if she lays on it. I mean, I would hope it cools well. It's like one of those big ass aquarium ones. I kind of want to get like those stupid little like... Yeah, it is moving heat into the room, which is nice. That is true. That is true, actually. It is a free room heater. Um... 10,000 chickens. I'm excited to play more Minecraft. I don't know what... I got a little friend server, and I don't know what bullshit is in there. Don't worry about it. Okay. Nuclear cooling tower. Alright. Well, I have ideas for my build. So I'm excited. I want to start making use of tinted glass too. To like add depth where there isn't depth. There's just like some fun Yeah, I just want to slowly get better at building. Because I think my Vivaria build turned out pretty well. I was really happy with it. I think... Yeah, I'll take some of your ink sacs. I think, like, it turned out pretty well, so I'm excited to kind of make my little golem workshop. And I want to add, like, a little mining operation, and I want the golems to be doing the work, and I want them to be constructing, like, a giant iron golem head, and it's gonna be fun, I think. Alright. So what does hammer ground do? The tinted glass has tentacles. No, that's my second outfit. I really hope I get this programming job, because then I could commission the second outfit. Did I show any of the people here that are in, like, the little Pompany show? Did I show you, like, Rice and Shovek? Did I show you guys the concept for it? The reference sheet? I should do that sometime. Not really something to show in polite company, but... it's a fun reference sheet. Oh, the inspiration board, yeah. Yes, that would have been them. Yep. It's fun. Okay, so we want to set hammer to true on hammer ground. Why is it not visible? Hammer sprite time. Hammer jump. Alright, so hammer should be set to true. In that case. If and not hammer. So it's definitely working. It's not shutting off the... It's not shutting off the collision. It's also not making it visible, but that's entirely different issue. So in the hammer ground state... Hi, Probola. So we want the... But yeah, it doesn't shut off the collision. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So confused. How's the code? I'm working through old code. And we're slowly getting to parity for a year and a half ago. But at least in a way where I can actually add stuff. That was the big issue, is the year and a half ago, it was so overly complex that it did not make sense. Yeah. Well, this is all the old code that I'm just referencing for stuff. And to be fair, most of this code is like, basically, I'm trying to convert it all into a state machine, because that logic is kind of what you want to do for a character. Especially a 2D one. Like, that makes sense. Especially for something like this. So, where I can actually process the states well. Because it is fixing a bunch of old issues that I had, actually, that I had to do all sorts of workarounds for. Just by putting it in the state machine, it suddenly starts working. Alright, what was I doing? I was trying to, hammer, visible. Hammer object visible is true. So we want to put that on the initial transition state for the hammer ground. Sorry, before you had a variable? God. Okay, why are we not... Okay, so this should enable this, and then let's see if we try this. Right, we want after hammer time is 0, so that is in the timers. If hammer time is greater than 0, hammer all of these things. Why is the collision still on? Thank God. Okay, we fixed it. It's not perfect. There's still some weirdness going on here, but it... Okay, and now let's add the hammer in the air. Basically, the tri-hammer is... I don't love this, but having it set from the input and then this basically just... Can you hear me? Okay, if current state equals... So then the other one is if current state equals jump or fall, I think. Equals state dot jump or state dot fall. If hammer time and dem and not stun. There we go. What's the issue? Oh, no colon. And then this one... Technically that should be hammer air, but whatever. So I'm thinking with the hammer, I only want it to initially is to do it initially, if that makes sense. I don't want it the entire time that you have the hammer out. Should I add a third hammer time variable? We can have hammer time, hammer reset time, and hammer sprite time. Or hammer cooldown. Yes, I mean... That might be the way to do it. how long that's active, how long... No, that's the way to do it, actually. If I want to be able to tweak values, that makes sense. Let's see, so we want hammer time. So var, we want hammer cooldown. And then, so hammer time, max hammer time we want to be much lower. We want to be like 0.1. And then max hammer cooldown. We should add that here and then probably add this one to exports. So like I never edit things in the editor I don't know what was going on there. I never edit things in the editor anyway, but it feels like it's probably good practice to do that anyway. No, that's the enemy collider. Like, here's the bunny. So, like, to be able to tweak it, but that's never how I've edited games. I know it's how a lot of people do. They really heavily rely on the editor, but... Whatever, it's not a bad thing. Oh, you guys can't even see the interface where you would edit that in the editor. Chat and my huge-ass head are blocking it. Hi, Grubby! Yeah. So we want... Try hammer. Can Grib eat the bunny girl? No, she's not allowed to. So we want to do if hammer cooldown 0, then we can try it. That's a button cooldown. And so then in the timers is where we'll put that. Hammer time. Hammer cooldown. Hammer cooldown. We're not feeding the bunny girl to the beast. Would she eat it anyway? She might, yeah. She's evil. Okay, I think this will work. Trying to remember how to type on this keyboard. I do like this keyboard though. It's much more pleasurable to type on. Right, and we want to reset hammer cooldown if we do jump. Right. Hammer cooldown equals -1.0. Exactly. We don't really need the hammer falls because we're using the timers, but I'll just leave that there for now. It's not breaking anything. Right, you can't double because we enabled it when you're stunned. So let's get rid of that, because we actually do use the... And I think the sprite cooldown is way too long. I think that should be set to... like 0.2? There we go. And then we'll have it like match up with animations, obviously. Okay, that feels better. And I think with animations, that'll be much, much better. And the levels design is shit, but it was just me testing out stuff. Alright, okay, let's just 2D, let's grab Bunny, put them at the top. Yeah, put them at here. And then we can try out this. Feels like we don't bounce back as far as we did, but that was probably a weird, like the collision being active for too long or something. Whatever. We're basically feature parity where we were. I'm happy with that. No new features, unfortunately. Yeah, this level design's bad, but it works just for... And I think when they're like bouncing back, like after you hit with the hammer, like it should be a forward and then like maybe they'll spin, I think would be funny. I think adding a lot of spinning and rotating and stuff would be good. Just with them flying through the air would be more. We don't need the dash code yet, because I think for now this works for it, but the dash code will be interesting to add too. Okay. We're starting to get somewhere. Let's see, big thing. Let's see, what are the next big things? Probably adding a bunch of the enemy logic, the getting hit by the enemies, and then the dash mechanic, which I'm still not sure about. I feel like having a swing, a jump, and a double jump feels like almost enough mechanics? And then I need to fix all the stuff with the enemy. Okay. Let's find the sprites and all of that. I think the 2D. see, bun sprites. Oh, I think I'm using an old version of the, yeah, I'm using really old versions of the sprite sheets before Holly added a bunch of new sprites. That's why. Okay, and then I need to... I'm gonna... Okay, Holly, did you and Sari ever do the logo that you guys were talking about doing? Okay, because I remember you posted a bunch of fonts, and then Sarah was like, jump on a draw pile with me, let's do the logo. And then I guess nothing came of that. Yeah, that must have been... Yeah, I think it was at the end of the jam. Yep, yep. The dash command is good. I like that. Yep. Okay. Oh, here's your latest sprite sheet. Found it. Okay, downloads. Whoop. And then... where did that end up going? Oh, it's just called Bun. Oh, I forgot how to convert sprite sheets into Godot. I should look that back up. Yeah, because I think adding the hammer animations and adding the spinning would add a lot. And then maybe adding the dash attack too, I think. Well, first let's thing, instead of doing the collision, I want to rotate the character and then have... So hammer jump should cause them rotating, and then when they're out of hammer jump... I think when they land, that's when they stop spinning. We could do exit and enter. Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of a so for the spin for the like a Sonic thing for that, but I'm thinking for this little bounce, the actual sprite itself is rotating. For whenever you bounce off with the hammer. I have blue hair in pronouns. I think that's pretty good as is. So I'm thinking basically because it just doesn't kind of show the level of chaos I want. And also I'm going to increase the bounce speed, I think. I want this game to feel like bouncy bullshit. I think that's a good way to do it. So there's something I meant for another game, but it was kind of whenever you hit a tile, the actual tile shifts and like... So like the little bit of camera shake and the dust are good. But like the like actual tile like goes like clunk, clunk every time you hit it. Not like the actual physics or anything, just the sprite, like you can see where you were like what you hit, and I think that would be fun. So I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, honestly, a lot of what I'm doing right now is just little things to just make it feel a little bit better. None of these are actual gameplay, like, but like, I mean, the goal is basically, I think once it like feels really hit stop and impact frames and stuff, I think that's Holly's job. Yeah, I mean, it's game feel. This is all game feel. And focusing on game feel, I think, especially for this kind of game, if we're going to make it a huge vertical tower kind of rage style game, I think it's important that it just feels really fun to just move around and hit things, right? At least to me, if it's really important that just like smacking things with a hammer feels good. And then we can actually design all the enemies and the bullshit levels and stuff once all the core mechanics are in. Because I think simplicity, it's you have two buttons. You're going to have a dash, which I need to re-add, and you have a hammer. So you can smack things around, and also the terrain. There should be destructible terrain, I think. So I think basically the concept that we kind of settled on was as you go up the tower to get back to the moon, you're kind of destroying everything around you and causing like all the little like mochi slimes are like good guys, and you are just like a menace, just destroying everything in your path. Like the little slimes, like with little signs protesting you, like little mecha walkers, and just everything that they can to like just keep you from like destroying. Yeah, we're the bad guy. We are 100% the bad guy, I think is kind of the idea, and I think that's gonna be really fun. No, the little idle dance is so good. Holly, like, I think that's part of the reason why I was thinking about this game again, is I was thinking about the animations. And they're just such, it's like such a, like the little, even like the run is really fun. The idle is good. It's going to be, it's going to be really fun. And I think, yeah, so I think it's bro thinks we're still in 2024. I mean, I recycled the thumbnail from 2024, so yeah. This is I like this thumbnail. It's a good thumbnail. I used it a year ago. I was like, I'm just gonna reuse it. Why not? It was cold and Grib was snuggling with me my cat was snuggling with me for warmth. Our heater is broken, so I didn't want to make yeah, it's been a year. I also like the little dust, I did not. Holland Lophouse in chat did. She also made my Vtuber model, so. Yeah, no, like, yeah, as you get higher, you start seeing wanted posters. It's... Holly, so here's an idea. So obviously the whole idea is, oh wait, if we had destructible environments, what about if you can end up smashing the walls? Smashing the walls in terrain. What if we make it, like, all destructible? And it only resets when you fall. And that's how you fall a lot of the time. You get too carried away and end up smashing the platforms and the tower that you need, and then you, like, go flying out. No, I think that's fun. Yeah, I mean, basically the idea was, like, you're Jump King or whatever. But just about a bunny girl climbing to the moon. And, like, smashing Mochi with a hammer. It's... Yeah, I'm excited for... Yeah, I like that idea, actually. I like the super, super destructible environments. Because otherwise, I'm like... Because otherwise, you know, it's... Like, the thing about Jump King is, like, it's unfair designs, but also the gameplay is meant to be very difficult. Like, it's difficult to control your character, right? Well, we're focusing a lot on making sure everything feels good to move around, and the hitting and all of that. Like, I want it to be uncontrollable, and that you're kind of ricocheting around and all of that, but it's like... You have a lot more control than something like Jump King or Getting Over whatever, so I think making the level highly, highly destructible might be fun. And it'll, like, you know, reset once you fall a certain amount beneath it. Yeah, I like that idea. And it encourages you not to just... Yeah, no, I think that's... Okay, so... I don't know how long I'm gonna go, because I have been sick for a very long time, so... Even though I've been higher energy this stream, which is nice, my stamina is pretty low again. And that berry stream was... It was so fun. I have no regrets, but oh my god, I felt like death after. But I'm thinking the next steps are a couple game fuel things with, like, the rotating character and all that. Maybe add the dash mechanic, and then I think the thing with the dash mechanic is I didn't get it necessarily to feel how I wanted. And then after that, it's having little dialogue boxes or balloons pop up from the enemies, and, like, signs as you pass them and stuff, I think would be fun. Like, I think these guys should maybe, like, scream when you hit them. And just, like, general, like, I think, like, as you get up the tower, like, they should, like, run, and, like, signs of distress, and, like, we should have, like, little radios and TVs and all that, like, little dialogue and just news just about the rampage and stuff. So, And also your character should like say things to herself. I think that's important. I think little bits of dialogue add a lot to a game unless you were intentionally doing no dialogue for stylistic reasons, but I think for a game like this, might as well go full goofy and have it. And even if like the enemies don't use it, we can add it to stuff later on. So I think dialogue and then destructible blocks are going to be the two big things. I think once those, then it's going to be adding more interesting blocks like bounce pads, blocks that you can only stand on for a temporary amount of time, things that raise and lower themselves. You know, the usual platformer stuff. So I think that'll be my focus. And then once I have basically once there are enough interesting pieces and we add enough like enemies and terrain and stuff, then I guess it's time to build the tower. I don't know level design. That's my thing, is I don't know level design. Maybe Holly or Sari could do the level design. Also, I just don't play enough platformers to know, like... Or worst case scenario, I end up just making a bunch of tiny little blocks. And then, like, little modules, and then placing them next to one another. But I think it'll work out. I think this has potential. Yeah. Okay, so I have direction. So yeah, over the next few weeks, I'm definitely going to be poking at this a couple times a week, I think? Maybe? More of a focus on doing this and stuff. It's also just good practice to get back into programming, for me. Yeah, go for it, Holly. Alright. I'd like to keep this stream going for a lot longer, but... maybe after having COVID for 3 weeks, I should take it easy the first few. I think that makes sense. But we figured out how our old code works. We have new direction. I have new things. For upcoming streams, I want to finish Pokemon. And we might do a couple dumb RuneScape streams because in 2019... or not in 2019, on the 19th, RuneScape finally gets its new skill sailing. And I am incredibly excited to the point that I almost want to go out and buy a bottle of rum for it. But then I saw the price of rum, and now I'm not sure if I'm going to buy a bottle of rum. Maybe I will buy a bottle of rum. Not like I'm going to go through it that much. Maybe that'll be my Thanksgiving. Home alone, playing RuneScape with a bottle of, what is it, Smith & Cross? Rum's not very expensive, but like, some of the yummy bottles are like $20 or $30. Which isn't that much for a large bottle of liquor. I just don't have $30 to spend on alcohol right now, if that makes sense. I know I'm invited, but I don't necessarily want to crash. I don't know. I guess it's not crashing if you're invited, but you know what I mean. Leftovers would be appreciated, I will say. I don't hate your family. But yeah, honestly, rum is one of those things that I've only ever really mostly had in cocktails. Outside of like some spice rum in college. But I like it in cocktails a lot. So having it straight or just with water and lime juice, I think might be like... So before I was using a Kinesis Advantage, which is this curved ortholinear ergonomic keyboard. I've been using that for a while, but But I've been thinking about just moving back to my normal keyboard, which I quite like. It's a good keyboard. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, like, I could just make grog, which is like just, what is it? 1 part water? I mean, 1 part rum to 4 part water, and it just like makes it like just kind of nice. Like, it still tastes like rum, is just like weaker and just like nice for sipping. Or you know, you can add a bit of lime and a bit of sugar to it too, and it makes it way better, obviously. Maybe when Small Dog goes to the grocery store next time, I'll ask her for some, like, turbinado sugar? Is that the right thing to mix into rum? Or maybe just simple? Just like limes and some simple might be good. Not that I drink heavily at all. It's not that I really drink. But I don't know. Like, I'm about to go like on a hardcore sailing thing, and then like it was appearing in people's schedules, so I think it's like kind of out. But in Barry's GTA thing, I want to play like a failure of a pirate. So having like a little bit of rum for that. Not that I'm gonna be drinking while doing it, but like it just might be kind of fun. I don't know. Also, I just want to try like the really funky Jamaican rums. That just sounds good. Yeah, method acting. Drinking diluted alcohol. Extremely diluted alcohol. That kind of method acting. Because you can't afford to drink it straight. Yeah. I mean, like, rum's like, what? A strong rum is like 100 proof, I think? It's not that strong. I'm gonna look at the one that I'm interested in going, that I've heard good things about. It's kind of the style I'm interested in, and it's very much the kind of funky, harshish rum that, yeah, no, I know that. And the whole grog thing is, yeah, rum goes to 100 proof. Let's see. Smith and Cross. Is 110, wait, right? 57% is like proof. Is proof just twice the percent, right? Proof alcohol. Yeah, this is the rum that I'm interested in is 114. It's like 57%. It is Navy strength rum. It is, well, it's I mean, it is literally the what is Navy strength? Because it's a I could also do pussers for something cheaper. Basically, it's the strength that they would give to sailors in the British Navy. Which is like why it's so heavily associated with pirates too, because a lot of those are just sailors. Hi, Butterscorch. Yeah, but no, so it wasn't a substitute for a painkiller. It was literally just part of your ration because, you know, a lot of these, you're press ganged, you're in terrible working conditions, people are fucking dying from scurvy and everything else, especially before they figured out how to actually deal with scurvy. So before, you know, part of your wages would be alcohol each day. And usually it was rum. And then the whole thing with grog is basically they were like, okay, we need to stop giving the sailors straight rum because it's causing problems. We're gonna make them dilute it. They get the same amount of rum, but now they have to dilute it. They did not love that. But that's what grog is. It's just diluted rum. And if you had the money, you would add like sugar and lime to it to make it taste a little better. But so, and it's also the, yeah, so grog is just, it's funny. Like there's not really anything to it. Yeah. Named after Admiral Grog. There's a fun, there's like a few fun, I know Tasting History has a fun episode on it. How to Drink has a fun episode on it. Oh, the pixel art is, it was from Holland La Paz, my Vtuber mama. So, like, so, I mean, and both of those channels are great. How to Drink is fantastic. Like, I don't even drink, and I'm just having, I've been watching it for like a month or two now, just as like my comfort material. It's just, it's fun. And weird amounts carried to some of the mixed drinks that my coffee shop does, actually. So, but it's just, it's fun. And, but yeah, I was really into grog because of Monkey Island. The Monkey Island games. I got really into retro point-and-click adventures when I was in middle or high school. You know, Day of the Tentacle, Monkey Island, Grim Fandango, all of those. And then I got into Space Station 13 when I was like more active on like Something Awful and stuff. And there, like one of the like secret recipes was grog. And so, you know, grog's just always been a fun interest of me, which makes it weird that I don't have much experience with rum. I have like far more experiences with like mezcal and tequila and mostly beer. It's mostly beer though. That's mostly what I drank when I was drinking. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think having some rum that I can either drink straight or dilute really heavily, and especially if I'm not having much of it, just because alcohol can make me really sick, just with my immune system. It is not pleasant, as you can, yeah, I mean, immunosuppressant combined with an immune system that is barely functional in the best of days. I don't think I'm immunocompromised. I don't think I am. I'm just delicate. Hi, Lady Hidden Spikes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering how much longer to push myself today. It might not be much longer. I wish after 3 weeks of resting with COVID, I would be like feeling well rested and not like I'm like crawling out of the grave. But yeah, if you can tell, I've been a little stir crazy. So that's why I'm and it's specifically back in the thing where I'm like wanting to do things again, and that's why I thought about channel direction and all of that. I should play Monkey Island. Hold on, that would be a great like 1 or 2 day stream. Like that would be like a 1 or 2 stream game. Monkey Island games are really, really fun. A lot of the humor still holds up. The point-and-click adventures are great. I mean, that's why I like RuneScape. RuneScape is just a point-and-click adventure game. Was I going to make that PowerPoint about why people should play RuneScape? I mean, I could. That could be fun. That might be more fun to do as like an actual video though, instead of a stream. Because I want to make more of those. There's been a lot of funny 3D printer controversy, but I don't want to become a 3D printer controversy channel. There's been like 3 or 4 different controversies about like the Elegoo and Duri Carbon that I've been like, I could make a video about this, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to be that channel. There's something to be said about like, you spend too much time hating on something and kind of like living off of controversy and negativity, and it does things to your brain that are like really unpleasant. That was a big problem with Something Awful, is too much of it was making fun of things. And if you spend all your time making fun of things, like, you kind of lose a lot of the ability to enjoy things. And if you're always thinking about controversy, always thinking about drama, all of that, it like really warps and breaks your brain. And I already get enough of that as is. Like, it's impossible to like pay attention to the VTuber scene without getting new fun drama every week. And unfortunately, like, and it's like, oh wait, that's my friend. Is like kind of like a lot of the things that have been like, you're no longer removed from anything either, which is very frustrating. And I think that's enough as is. Politics and VTuber drama are, I think, enough for me that I don't want to focus too strongly on the negative side of mindset. And also there are things that are good about the printer. Did they maybe just do a rug pull when it comes to their multicolor system? Yeah. Like, also, it'd just be a drop in a sea of videos. I was gonna do one about the cord thing, but I really wanted either the Consumer Protection Agency here to make their post about it, but government shutdown, or I wanted like an official statement from the company. There were issues with the cord potentially being a fire hazard and all of that, and they made a... they are actually doing replacement cords. Of course, I haven't heard of anyone actually receiving the replacement cord yet. But I'll give it a little bit. We know that it's a physical thing that exists, at least. I just think support is understandably swamped right now. But yeah, no, like, so that's like why I didn't want to make it. I might do some more 3D printing videos though. You know, about my own projects, maybe. But also, the Open Centauri project I think is really cool. It would be nice to make more positive videos about things. I don't know. No, yeah, people have been like, are you going to make a video about X and Y? And I'm like, I don't know. The answer's been no, I have COVID right now, for the past 3 weeks. So, which is why I haven't done a lot of things. Why I still haven't finished Pokemon, despite, like, it being tailor-made to, like, embed itself in my brain. Can I make a video on the situation? If I ever start making videos about geopolitics, please put a bullet in my brain. Just straight up. But yeah, probably gonna stay away from drama, maybe outside of shorts. There's a few yummy shorts, YouTube shorts, that I was thinking of doing. Although they're not really that relevant anymore either, is the problem. So. There was one I scripted and just never recorded about, yeah, I'm just gonna do what I want. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna be working on games a lot the next few weeks. Gonna be playing some Pokemon, playing some RuneScape. It'll be fun. Maybe some Monkey Island in there, probably some shmups. You know. Because I need to beat, Touhou 6. Yeah. Because I still need to beat Touhou 6. I still need to beat Zero Ranger. I need to tackle Hellsinker again. And also, I haven't been playing any of the Game Boy shmups. And there is some interesting ones on the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And the fun part is, I haven't tested it yet. But I should be able to use my arcade stick with my Game Boy Advance. Because I stream from original hardware, and it has an SNES port on it, and I think I got my arcade stick working. Yeah, I'm gonna give UFO 50 some more try, because UFO 50 is just very fun, and yeah. So. But there's, you know, there's some things that I've been, like, planning on doing for a while on stream that I just need to do, like the cat cam thing. Blender, like, trying to remember how to use Blender and then learning Fusion 360, I think will be a, painful thing. And then there's, like, the plugin and go and stuff that I want to learn, too. Yeah, I can use my Game Boy with my arcade stick with the Game Boy Advance. I can use it with my WonderSwan too. Not yet, but I will be able to. I mean, I can use this with, like, basically every retro console, and then anything that you put one of those retro console ports on. That is why they're like 20 hours of effort went into this fucking arcade stick. It is technically really fun for messing around because I can use it on anything as long as it's fine with a 6-button arcade stick. And certain modern games want 8 buttons, but whatever. What was the term we used on SRK Tech Talk? I don't remember. It was like Ada's dick or something? Anyway. It was some sort of crude statement that this was common about 8-button arcade sticks. So a lot of the old school players that play a lot of the older games, older fight games, old shmups, old arcade games, strongly prefer 6-button layouts. 8-button layouts really became a thing more with modern console games and some of the, like, more, like, super modern arcade games. But generally speaking, for a lot of the older titles, a 6-button arcade stick is fine. And honestly, a lot of even modern games, the 8 buttons are, you can, like, get those 2 extra buttons just by a button combo. But there are some games that do make use of 7 or even 8 buttons. I want to say Gundam Versus uses 7 buttons? I might be wrong. But I think they use a 7-button layout. I might be wrong. Gundam Versus Arcade. Like, I want to say when I've, like, played it in person, it is a 7-button game. No, it might be a 4-button game. Like God intended. Personally, I think games should be 4 buttons. No, actually, no. I think the, like, the super modern ones might be 7 buttons. Yeah. But anyway, there's how many buttons you should have on your arcade stick is this weird long-standing debate. I have 6 on one stick, 8 on one stick, and then my hitbox has 8. I would use my hitbox for more things if I could figure out how to make this less of a hollow box. It's machined, it's all machined aluminum. Is it aluminum? Some of it might be steel. But it's just a metal box, and metal boxes, when you press buttons, make unpleasant sounds inside of them. And the problem is, a big 10-pound metal box. How do I make this sound less shit? And I've tried foam and other things. No, it's not a hitbox. It is the one that I have is a Panzer unibody. From Jason Customs. Which was like what one of Jason's sticks were Grails when I was younger. Okay, it might be okay, it is all aluminum. But it is it's so heavy. Like there is light aluminum, like the OG hitbox is very light aluminum. But here's the image link. I have the you can just kind of sing at that how thick it is. Like you can kind of just see that it's like this is like really thick aluminum. It's really heavy. It's gorgeous. I have it with art that I commissioned from Cine for, and then I have no, I didn't hand drill into this one. This one has been pretty stock. I replaced like it's, and then I have one arcade stick that's just sitting waiting for me to do a full project with. When I get a job again, I'm gonna see about getting the full printed plate with the rice nut art. It would suck, I think, to not have that stick finished by the time I update my model. That is a failure on my part. I'm so excited for the model update. It's gonna be a while because I will need to rig it myself, and obviously Holly is prioritizing other projects, as she should be. But it's very good. No, it was one of the first commissions I got. It's very beloved art. I really love it. You're gonna put V-Bridger mouth on it? Okay. Honestly, I'm wondering, like, a lot of it, we could probably just use the pre-existing rig. Cause, like... yeah. I like my rig. It's a good rig! I think, like, mouth isn't captured, like, necessarily super... I mean, mouth is even, like, it captures my facial expressions pretty damn well. Like, I don't do, Oh, I am rigging the Ahoge. That's one of those things that I'm rigging. As the Ahoge is going to be fully rigged. The tail is going to be fully rigged. A lot of things are going to be toggleable. It'll be a lot of fun. No, the model, Holly did such a good job on the model. And one of the fun things is when I look at other videos of people like streaming and I see like how overly animated they make their faces are to emote, like it's it's a properly expressive. Stop playing with my headphone cord. Stop it. No, you can't eat that. I don't want to buy a new one. Probably $20. I mean, this is the reason why I have headphones with a replaceable cord. Grub, you are completely like... I'm getting some tracking. We can go upstairs and play. Do you want to play? You want to play, don't you? You literally gave her a tube treat 10 minutes ago? I mean, she's probably... Hello, King's Gambit. She's probably just upset that I've not really, like, played with her much today or anything. It's been very cold. And she is a rude beast. Hi, Grubby. You have a squid somewhere, right? Where is it? It's under the chair. Here, let me grab you. Do you want your squid? No, she wants the cord. You're completely blocking the tracker, hun. I should really get, I should see if I can find the old iPhone that had the tracking and then put it on, mounted above my monitor. Because right now it's on an iPad beneath the monitors, or it blocks part of the monitor, and it's frequently blocked by the cat, like she's doing now. She's just sitting in front of my keyboard, just blocking everything. There's no rhyme or reason for it. What are you staring at? Hi? What did you get into today? Let me... hold on. You have something on your eyelashes. Just gunk. Yeah. Yeah, no, she is some sort of demonic creature. If I got isekai'd, I'd request her as a demonic familiar. She'd be a good familiar, I think. The fucking face my mouth is stuck on because of her. Can I attach a brush to her tail and let her loosen the pipes? I don't think that'll fix the heating. I don't think that'll fix the heating. I think it's just the boiler is like not lighting. It feels like it would be a very easy fix if I had any knowledge about boilers, but I don't, and that is not the kind of thing you learn from a YouTube video, because big thing full of explosive fumes and fire that then causes like high pressure steam to go through and heat the house. It sounds like a no. That's very firmly not comfortable touching that. Yeah. No, that's, there are things I am comfortable with. We fixed the sink. I finally got the disposal working again, which is nice. Yeah, there's certain things. Springs in general are super scary. Like, watch springs can be like for older watches can be like crazy crazy amounts of stored energy and just like tiny little springs, but like doesn't take much. Like, bullets aren't very big. Just like, it doesn't take much voltage to cause problems. There's a reason why almost all of the soldering work I do is for 3 and 5 volt stuff. I do not mess with anything high voltage. It's why I'm kind of a little hesitant about some of the bigger consoles too. And anything with AC involved, I'm just not comfortable with. Yeah, Game Boy Light has an EL panel in it, and we're already talking voltages that could probably kill me. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you, though. Staying away from that part of the Game Boy. Especially just, like, I have heart issues. I should not mess around with electricity that much. No, I don't try. I avoid shocking myself. I exclusively work with low voltage electronics for that reason. The shock collar that I have doesn't actually shock. It's a thingy. I forget what it does. It's something else. It does use electricity, though. Shocking is not the right term for it, though. It does use electricity, though, and so you don't put it around your neck. Or really anywhere above the waist, generally. You usually want to, like, strap it on your leg or your thigh or something. Fish-only Yu-Gi-Oh! Run where I go up to Master Rank where I have the shock collar and I electrocute myself every time I lose a duel. You know what? I like that idea. I'm wanting to play more Yu-Gi-Oh! And I like my fish deck. And what do you mean, no? Every time I lose a duel, not every time I take damage. Very, very different. Much better than last time. Yeah, no, and I'm not going to, like, ramp it up. I know that I already do not like lower intensities on it, so I'm gonna keep it to lower intensities and not just ramp it up because, haha, content. Because I don't actually hate myself and I don't enjoy getting electrocuted. Oh right, that Minecraft idea was good, actually. I think I get good at Minecraft. Or I could do a Vintage Story. If I get Vintage Story at some point. Well, if I did with Minecraft, I'd probably do it with unmodded vanilla Minecraft. I think for that. I'd probably do like solo, like single player unmodded Minecraft. Right? Like that makes more sense, I think. It would be fine. I think it would be fine. Look, I have this shock collar. No, it's not really a collar. Electrocution device? Shock band? I don't know what to call it. Shock collar. Since that moon got me, I have to use it. And the stream's funny. It's not enjoyable for me, but it is, like, I enjoy the bit. I just don't enjoy the actual electrocution parts, because that's deeply unpleasant. I'm not into that. Well, I do have to use it. I have it. Just like how I have the heart rate monitor, so I should start playing horror games again. I think I can only do horror games again if I, once the basement's all cleaned out, if I have Small Dog come down here with me. And like be here, like physically here with me. Otherwise I don't think I'm getting through it. Unfortunately. The strawberry syrup is good until you drink 10 liters of it in a short period of time because you don't want it to go bad. Then you become very, very sick of strawberry syrup. Because, let's be honest, 10 liters of anything in a short period of time is extremely excessive. Well, air, water, yeah, fine, as long as you spread it out enough, but... I think she's very cold right now. Almost like she was born to stray cats in Arizona and is designed for... Yeah, not really designed, but you know what I mean. Almost like, yeah, it was survival of the fittest and Arizona heat is what this cat is, used to. Her hair's so short. It's funny though, because she was fostered in a house with air conditioning, and when she was a little kitten, and then I brought her home, it wasn't until our first summer in Syracuse that she like really experienced the heat. And it was she was so unhappy. She does not like the heat. And she was just like yelling in distress because it was too hot. And she does not like it. Her bald spot. Yeah, her little bald spots. Would she wear a sweater? We can't get her to wear a collar, is part of the thing. Was she more shocked at the heat or the snow? Well, snow was only when she was like really, really baby. So everything was terrifying when she was that little. Yeah, it's not like she ever went down into it. She was just mortified to be outside. That is still a very good photo though, where she sees God. Poor kitten sees God. I should find my heavy coats, actually. It's chilly enough. It is chilly enough, I might even, like, wear them inside. Well, once we get the boiler on, I imagine we'll heat up the basement a little too. Right? I think that's how that works. We don't have, like, a heater in the basement, but I imagine just having the physical boiler down here probably means that it'll heat up. I hope. Right? I was gonna get off and lay down. I should do that. I should do that so then I can stream more this weekend. Because I want to finish Pokemon, and I want to do Underground Pass without any guide. It's not blind, because I've watched Unguided and by release. So, I've seen people run the Underground Pass. I don't remember much of it, and I've never done it myself, so I think it should be fun. It's one of RuneScape's most infamous quests for a reason. It sucks even with a guide. So I think it'll be fun. Every time I fall, I get electrocuted in the Underground Pass. I don't even know if I want to do that for the bit, actually. That sounds really bad. That sounds really bad. That might be worse than the Minecraft idea. It would be kind of funny. No, I'm not going to. It'll be miserable enough as is. Alright. Okay, gonna work on this more maybe this weekend, definitely next week. Probably some Pokemon or RuneScape next few days, just as I get back into the swing of things, and I need to finish that Pokemon game. We just got to the Vtuber, and then I need to meet the maid, and just... It's a good game. Thank you guys for coming. I will see you guys later. Otsubui!